Hello developers, welcome to Premiatvik. See today topic is about React Native. So we are all known already about React Native, but we are going to see security things and what are all the things which we should be conscious while working on the React Native application. So we are all know React Native is nothing but a mobile application. When we are developing a mobile application, these are all the key features we should be get to know, and we should be implement that things to our mobile app. The first thing is we have lot of Android versions. When we are developing a React Native application, mobile application, we should develop a latest version. We should be using our Android 15. It's a latest version, right? So when you do a Google search of latest version, uh, latest Android version, this should be 15. When we are developing an application, we should go with an Android 15. Suppose if you guys are maintaining a mobile application for a long term, at this stage we should be conscious about changing the few things for security level. Why we are saying about the security? What is the use of that? So whenever we are developing application, that should be more secure, and client should be using confident when we are using our mobile application. How it will be secure? What are all the things we need to get to know? Before that, how they will get data from our mobile app? This is the thing, right? This is the question I'm getting, right? So whenever you are getting a mobile app, we all know mobile app is nothing but an APK. So whenever the third person is got an APK, they can able to get a code just by defacing that APK. We should not allow the things to backtrack. So when a person is backtracking an APK, he can able to get the code directly. So in our code, we can maintain the .env file or few confidential things. He can able to get that. Once we got that, totally our app is not secure thing. So we should be conscious of all those things. The main thing is Android SDK version. So we are all know what is SDK API. So whenever the Android is getting to next level, API also is getting moved to the next level. We know the latest Android version is 15. Then latest SDK version also 35. 35 is the latest one. Whenever you are buying a new mobile, it was in Android 15 SDK API of 35. So when you are maintaining a older project at the initial time, 3 years back or 5 years back, maybe 10 years back, it was an Android 7. Initially we got an Android 7, the API is 24. Then it was Android 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we can able to do things like our app can support only an Android version of 7 higher. 7 lower we should not support. Like that we have lot of things. So the few things we should be conscious, like our mainly later we'll discuss about how many people are using an Android 7, how much people are using Android 10. Like that I will get to know, I will tell those things. For now we should be try to upgrade our all those things to Android 15, the latest version. And also the one thing is TLS, which is transport layer secure. The API 29, when API 10 onwards, these thing are more conscious about the security things. So they have introduced a few things about the security level changes. When AP 29 enforces TLS 1.3 for improved encryption performance and security. What is TLS? Whenever we are making an API call from backend or our client side or server side, then API have a certain security things. It was classified into 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. 1.3 is the latest secure one. So whenever the client the server is making an API call, that should be secure. They should secure to 1.3. Older API levels rarely on weaker encryption method, making them less secure. So when you are using 1.1 or 1.2, they have a very less encryption method. It can be very, very easy. The third person can easily decrypt the code and they can use that. So what is TLS? Transport layer security. So as I told, we can classify it into 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. The latest is 1.3. So what is TLS? The TLS is nothing but we are all know about SSL certificate. I hope you guys are known. If you don't know, I will give a sample like Facebook, facebook.com. If you are going to anything, you can able to get here, right? This connection is secure. This is SSL. SSL is nothing but security layer. These can make our website more secure. Third person cannot directly access. So this is the buyable thing. We need to buy using this domain name, and this will be valid for certain period of time. We can go inside. So security, see here, right? They have purchased the domain facebook.com. Maybe some star means they can able to give anything, any name, like any domain facebook.com. So this is the thing. So this expires in April 5th, 2025. They have to give a certain period. They will give a secure for a particular time. So this is an SSL. So SSL is nothing but more similar to TSL. Using the SSL, they will make a few things about TSL layer secure. The same thing is here. Starting from API 29, apps cannot start active for background and reducing security risk for malicious apps. It's nothing but when API is 29, we can able to get an Android 10. When Android 10 onwards, our app can't run directly to our background. So why they have introduced this? Is not, this is very, very serious. If our app is running background without our knowledge, then someone can able to run the app to the background and we can able to collect data without the knowledge of the person. So this is very secure thing. So they have introduced that our app will not directly play in our background. They have introduced in API 9 onwards. And then in API 9 onwards, they have introduced the biometric prompt improvements for better fingerprint and facial recognition. Before the API 29, there was a no fingerprint or biometric. API 29 onwards, they have improved a lot of things like face recognition, fingerprint matches. So in the screen itself, they can able to get a fingerprint. Those all things are introduced in API 29. Then in AP 29, they have conscious about more memory and running time. If you are working on a Windows machine, if you are running on the React Native application, it's taking more time to run a build. So they have introduced a few things. In Android 10, enhance ART to improve startup time and memory usage. The next, just-in-time compilation is optimized, leading to better app execution speed. So they have done those things. If you are using a lower version, try to switch to the current version and you can able to get lot of things. Then dozen mode enhancement. So dozen expands battery life by differing app background, CPU and network activity when a device is unused for long time. So this is also major thing they have more conscious. Then they have added a gesture navigation support. Navigation support for gesture based navigation, improving user experience in full screen apps. So yes, in Android 29 onwards we can able to get a back gesture. Previously it was a button. Now most of our application are using the back gesture. So by using a minimum SDK version of 24, your app is tied to older API that may be deprecated or moved in a newer Android version. Upgrading to API 29 enforces compatibility with modern libraries, reduce reliance on our outdated API, easier maintenance and further updates. So when you are using a few things, you can able to go with the minimum SDK version, right? So try to avoid those things and try to upgrade to a latest version. You can get all those features. And also they have introduced the material component and UI improvement. Many modern UI component in material design 3 requires API 29 plus for optimal performance and rendering. As I told earlier, we should be go with the latest thing to get use of lot of things like material, or if you are using an third person API, all those things we should go with an latest version. They have given a support to the latest version. Then device market share trend. As of 2024, less than 5% of devices run on Android 7.0 API 24, making it inefficient to maintain and support. As I told earlier, only less than 7% of people are using the Android 7. Most of the people are moving to Android 10, moved already. It's widely used. Enforcing your app reaches the majority of users. And also introduces scoped storage. One thing is like, initially whenever we are trying to access our storage, or we are getting a notification, we are getting a permission request, right? There will be a lot of permissions. Some of the permissions, like when you are using an local storage, we are getting only the permission of using the storage, but they have given a lot of things. I will do a separate video for the permission package alone. Currently I'm just giving an overview about when initially there will be no background location is required separately. Whenever the person need, they can able to access our background location, but this will not be a part of security thing, right? So they have introduced this background access location separately. Separately we have able to access the pop-up. They have made this as required. If you are using the background location, these access would be required. Then background activity launch restrictions. Apps can't run launch directly from the background, right? As I told earlier, we should not directly run our app to our background. So if we are running the app to our background, there will be a notification like we are using our app to our background. So people can easily get to know that app is running on the background. We need to kill the app or we need to work on that. So that will be a many useful things. Next, when you're using an app, we can able to get a vulnerability test, right? So there will be a lot of packages. We can upload our SDK version, our APK to get a vulnerability. So they will give us like high critical and medium low. High critical medium low. If we are allowing a HTTP connection, we all know there will be a connection like HTTP, HTTPS. So we should not allow our app to connect to HTTP. It may be a critical issue. If you are developing in a local, at the time you can guys are allow. When it's protection, try to avoid that. Then in the login, you should not directly give username and password. When you are storing the credentials to our env, try to encrypt and store that. don't directly store that INE and password to that. Then read external, write external storage. As I told earlier, when you are accessing a permission, there will be read and write external storage. These are all the old one when you are going with Android 10 before. But Android 11 onwards, they have introduced a few things about we can able to pick only allow access to the particular image, a particular video, like that. Then the major thing is, when you are having a login screen, you should not allow password to copy directly on the clipboard. So this is also a major thing we have to work on that. Then there will be a Janus vulnerability that attack to modify the code in the application without affecting their signatures. This all things. Then we have to go with signature V3. By default app will be V1 mode. So this app transport security documentation. S- This is nothing but security things for iOS and Mac to enforce secure communication between app and background server. This is similar to HTTP as I told earlier, right? It's the same one. We should not allow HTTP to connect directly. We should allow only to HTTPS. Who we all know info dot plist, right? So there you can able to see things like NS app transport security, N allow arbitrary loads. These all should be false. Prevent HTTP connection, only allow HTTPS is allowed. Block insecure API that do not use strong encryptions. Protect your data by enforcing TLS secure. As I told, TLS we have to use 1.3. Then common ATS misconfiguration. Commonly what we will do, will allow arbitrary load to be true. This should be false. Then we can able to give a specific domain access to be local. This should not be allow. How we can correctly use? We can able to use these correct things like arbitrary load should be false whenever we are needing this. Make our allow local networking to be true. So these are all the main things we have to work on that. This should be able to test our clear test. So hope you guys understood few things about our current day-to-day life. We are working on the React Native application. These are all the current trends. If you are getting to know more about the next trend, I will post a new video. Hope you guys learned a new thing today. Please do a subscribe and support me. Bye bye guys.